Welcome back to another episode of the Cast Patrol podcast. We're joined by a special guest this week, Warriors 5'8", Luke Metcalf. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, fellas. I'm excited to have a little yarn.
Yeah, welcome to the studio. Bit far away from New Zealand. We got you in the off-season, got you at a good time.
Did you fly all the way for the Cast Patrol?
Yeah, I did, yeah. Well, you paying me a fair bit, so I thought I'd
keep that on the DL.
Well, let's get things started with early life. So pretty much, how did you get into rugby league? What was your first interactions with the game?
So I'm the youngest of four boys, I am. So, yeah, my earliest memories probably being maybe 4 or 5 years old, just being in the backyard and just playing football with my brothers, just getting beat and getting bashed all the time. But that's probably my earliest memories, and then just wanting to play like with them, like watching them play on the weekends and wanting to like put my boots on and stuff. Like I would get in full kit, wear my boots to their games and that when I was young, and I couldn't even play yet.
You were like 3 years old.
Yeah,
just can't
I
play.
had a headgear on. Like I'd go everywhere with it. So that's probably the earliest.
And did you play any other sports growing up, or was it just league the whole
No,
time?
it's just league, eh? Like there's a lot of Oz tag in Coffs.
Yeah.
Like so obviously grew up in Coffs. So there's a lot of Oz tag and touch and that, but I just never really got into it. It was just rugby league. Like I didn't really dabble in anything other, maybe skateboarding. Like there's all the skaters and stuff up there. I was a skater.
Surprised you haven't played Oztag. Like, you got the speed and the footwork.
No, everyone
you
always
just don't have
asks-
the hips, eh?
Yeah, everyone always asks me that, especially people in New Zealand. They think like they're like, oh, you'd play touch because it's so huge over there. But I'm just like, no, I never really ever got into it.
When was that first step that you made that you were like, oh, I can actually make a career out of playing rugby league? Was it in high school? Did you know you were good, or was it post? Did you have a growth spurt? And
I don't know. Like I always thought that I was like okay. Like I knew I was good at football, but probably when I was about 14, it might have been when my teacher at school came up to me and asked, like, sort of said, "Oh, do you want to go to Sydney and go to Endeavour Sports High School?" And I was like, "Oh," like, because he knew I wanted to do something with footy.
Yep.
And he sort of approached me that, and I was like, "Oh, what's doing there?" And then I jumped at the opportunity, and obviously I had to go back to my parents, "Hey, like, there's this opportunity for us to move to Sydney, like uproot our life, and to go to Sydney for me to chase my dream of playing football." And that's probably the moment where it sort of clicked and was like, "Oh, this actually could happen." That was the first sort of step. So it was a big move, but obviously it paid off.
yeah, paid off dividends. At Endeavour, did you play with anyone that ended up making first grade? Because it's a renowned school for sports stars.
I was with Reece Robson.
Okay.
I was with Robbo, yeah. So I was with him, and there was a couple guys who was in the year below me was like Bronson Cherry.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, Robbo was in my year, Bronson Cherry was in the year below. Big Frankie Pele was in the year below me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's in the Super
played.
League now, just
killing
carving
it.
up.
Yeah. So
Still running off the back fence?
yeah,
Did you do it in
he
high
scored
school?
3 tries in a game the other day I saw.
Yeah,
He's
I've
killing
seen all
it,
his
yeah.
highlights. Just under the post, just you can't stop him.
Yeah, he's killing it. Yeah. So I'd probably those. But I'm trying to think if there's anyone that was in my year. That was it.
Who was your junior club? that you played
Aurora
for?
Valley Tomahawks.
Ooh,
Was
never
yeah.
heard of him. That's a fancy name.
Sort of about 20 minutes west of Coffs Harbour.
Okay.
It is, yeah, just a little team there. Don't get too much traction, like not winning too many games or too many comps up there. But
Did you make a rep team under that club, or was that only after you?
I did. So it was the Group 2 Rabbitohs, they were
Yep.
called. We used to always play the junior Rabbits. We did when we were up there, and
They'd like come to you guys and verse sort of thing.
Yeah. We'd always play them. Yeah. So I made the rep teams and stuff. Tristan Riley, who played for the Tigers, was in my team actually. He was he was in the Group 2 Rabbitohs team, so he's someone who sort of like went and kicked on as well.
Yeah,
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So that maybe you might come to the Rabbitohs later in your career, start and end, like a palindrome. You want to make it all neat.
I'm not saying anything.
No comment.
And then, all right, so you've gone to Endeavour, you've killed it there, I'm assuming. Then who was the first team that came knocking? Was it the Seagulls?
Obviously I went to Endeavour, and then Cronulla played like Harold Matts and SG Ball and all those sort of sides. And yeah, it was when I was sort of finishing SG Ball. Manly, I remember going and meeting with Manly and sort of having a convo with them. And after that was sort of like I was pretty excited to go there and to learn under Cherry Evans, and that's sort of what the whole thing was, to go there and learn under, at the time, these Queensland halfback, Australian halfback. So in my head, I was like, it's a no-brainer to go there and learn off him and stuff like that. And Trent Barrett was the coach. So, and I remember just talking to him, and that was like a cool sort of, to be able to learn off him too, someone who's done what he's done in the game. So that was pretty cool to be able to actually sign there and go there.
And what did you sign up as, a 5'8" halfback?
I was a halfback or a 5'8", whatever, but there wasn't like, because I was only 18, 19 at the time, it was sort of just, I wasn't like going there to play first grade. I was just more going there just to learn and just hopefully it ends out. It didn't end up the way I thought it would, but still went there and I wouldn't change it.
Yeah, you played a few games for the Blacktown Workers, Seagulls, 4 games, and then you got poached by Sharks, I'm guessing? Is that the next step?
So I was playing. I had a bit of a rough year sort of there. So I tore my ACL 2019.
Yep.
So I'd been there. So 2018 was my first year. Played Jersey Flag, and then 2019 round 2 I tore my ACL. So I didn't put that whole year. Didn't play. And then the next year was the COVID year. So I played the nines, and I like went pretty good at the nines. So I was like, oh, this is cool. Like I'm getting ready for a huge year. And then I think we played 1 game, and then COVID happened, and I didn't play a game for the rest of the year.
Oh, no.
And then, so after that, I was like stressing a little bit. I was like, oh, like I haven't got a club. Like I was off contract. And I just remember the convo it coming up like with my manager to go back to Cronulla, and I jumped at the opportunity. Obviously, because it was familiar. I knew all the boys there. John Morris was the coach. I knew him from my juniors. He like helped us all through the juniors, and it was just it was just sort of familiar and easy to go back to, and I jumped at the chance.
So let's talk about your NRL debut now. So round 2021 against Manly, 14 minutes of the bench. Explain what the lead up to that was like, and how was the game itself?
Yeah, so I remember the game was on. It was on a Saturday or a Sunday. No, it was on a Sunday. The game was on a Sunday, and I was maybe going to play because Jesse Raymond had a ear infection, and I was probably going to play. I hadn't been told yet, but I was maybe going to play, and then we did captain's run on Saturday, and I still even then like captain's run on Saturday. So the game was on Sunday. Did captain's run. And was like, I still didn't know. And then straight after captain's run finished on the Saturday, they go, "Oh boys, everyone get in." No, I hadn't even finished yet. They just go, "Everyone come in." Oh yeah, the game's been called off because something happened where there was some COVID breach in one of the bubbles, or there was something that happened. I don't know specifically, and then I was like, no, like I was gonna like,
when you're about to debut,
and then
COVID's just ruining your career.
Yeah. And then I was like, oh, then they said all the games been moved to Monday, and I was like, oh, okay, now I'm gonna have to wait like one more day to see if I'm playing or not. And then I remember Sunday we didn't train too much. We pretty much just did like a muck around captain's run, like we just sort of kicked the ball around, just mess around because we all done our captain's run, and then still didn't know. Then woke up Monday morning, and then Josh Henne, who was the interim coach that year, he called everyone for a meeting in the hotel, and then that's when he told me, and I was so excited. I had to like do the rounds, like I'm debuting, but I have to call everyone, tell everyone I'm playing.
Gotta call mum, dad, the fam, everyone.
Yeah. And then I remember like sitting on the bed. Like I knew I wasn't going to play many minutes. Yep. Like I just knew. So where we were in that season, we'll come in probably about 8th, 9th. I will right towards making the finals. I knew like I'm probably only going to get like 10, 15 minutes towards the back end. So. But I kept like staying warm and stuff like that. I didn't want to
just in case of an injury.
So I just did that, and I remember it was awesome, mate, because I debuted against Manly, so I knew all those boys, and they were also happy for me that they like were there to watch me debut as well. So that was cool to share it with them.
100%.
And you had to get Turbo in his red hot form of the 2021.
Yeah.
He scored a hat trick or something in that game.
I think he had 2 tries, 3 tries. He was carving up. He was a freak that year.
Did it meet your expectations of first grade, getting thrown in the deep end, 14 minutes to go?
Yeah, no, it was good. I was so like revved up, hey. Like I was so like ready to go that like I felt like I was holding my own. Like even in defence, everything, I was just so alert to everything, and they were probably up like nearly 30 points, so they probably took the foot off the gas like a little bit. So I was, any chance I got the ball, I was.
Did you just play in the middle? Did you get? Or you
so I played at 5'8". I think Connor Tracy started at 5'8" and then went to centre. I think he pushed out to centre, and then I went in. You
slotted in.
Yeah. So no, it was good. I remember just getting on there and just trying to literally anything, any break, any line break,
because you don't have much time. You just got to do something.
Yeah. You're playing 80 minutes in 14 minutes. That's
that's it.
Yeah, genuinely. And then, what was that feeling like after the game? Full time goes. Obviously, was there crowds?
So there was no crowds.
Okay,
so they had
the
like the fake noise and all that sort of stuff. So it was pretty funny.
Fake people in the stands.
It was pretty funny. Like debuting in that period. Like I didn't have anyone there. Like it was different from what you debut. You think it's going to be like having your family and friends there, and they had the complete opposite. Yeah. I remember we got back into the hotel room, and we were sitting there, and Toby Rudolph was just like, oh yeah, fuck. How do you feel? You just debuted in the NRL. How do you feel? Me, him, and a couple of other boys were just sitting there, just
You're
watching,
like, yeah,
eating Maccas, watching the TV, and I was like, oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I just did like, but it was so different to what you expect as a kid, what you think it's going to be like. Yeah.
I think we'll look back in a few years of that COVID period and go like, what a weird time for
Yeah.
rugby league.
Yeah.
Like, how'd you find living in the bubble, like with the squad 24/7? You're in great location up there in the Queensland bubble.
Yeah. No, it was all right, eh? Like it was like I enjoyed it. Like I was up there with my partner, boys were up there with their partners and kids, and everyone was sort of hanging and doing stuff. We would finish training and go in the pool because it was winter in Sydney, but up there winter in Queensland's a lot
It's always
different.
tropical. It's always hot.
So we're up there just just playing and just doing, and on days off we stay in Brisbane, so we're just around, just getting the little lime scooters around Brisbane and stuff. Yeah, so I enjoyed it. So I was young, so I enjoyed it, but I know it was tough for boys with kids and stuff like that, living in an apartment, living in around 60 other people and having your kids there and stuff like that, and all eating together every night, eating breakfast together. Like I'd get that would be tough. So it was probably, for if you ask me and ask someone who had 3 kids, probably a different answer.
100%. Like you just get sick of like being with everyone all the time and like not having your own space. But
Yeah.
Then how does Warriors come about? So at the end of 2021, you agreed to terms with them for 2 seasons, 2023 and 2024. Where did that conversation come up with them?
I just remember my manager just calling me and just saying he spoke to them, like they spoke to him, and would it be something I'm interested in? And at the start I was like, oh yeah. Then the more I thought about it, I was like, oh, it's like a big move. But I just remember talking to the club and just the people there, and I was just like, it's the way they spoke about the club and the direction it's going. And as well as a good opportunity for me to sort of test myself and move over there and just have like a full footy focus and just try and obviously get a start in the NRL, and just because that's all you need sometimes. It's just an opportunity, and and I'm so lucky that I took that opportunity and went over there, because I felt like it's worked out for me. But yeah, I just remember just speaking to the people at the club, like Cam George, the CEO, and just the way he sort of saw the direction that the club was going in. It was just, I felt like I had to go there, and I'm so glad I did it. Eh?
And how did you find the transition between living in Coffs and then bubble and then now Auckland, New Zealand?
Yeah, it was obviously a big change. Obviously, going over there with my partner was I knew I would be okay. I was actually not say I struggled over there, but I was a bit like, oh, this is a big move. And then obviously my partner, and I was like, oh, I hope she's okay. Like when I'm at training day, is she going to be all right? And so the first probably couple months was a bit tough in that sense. And then you have to get to know people, and she has to get to know people. But after we got past them first couple months, it was good, eh? And like now we look back at it and we sort of laugh like how we were those first couple months. But now she's got friends over there and knows like other players, partners, and has friends at the gym and stuff like that. So yeah, we love it.
That helps heaps.
Yeah.
you're locked there for another 2 years now. I believe at the end of 2026.
Yeah.
So New Zealand's pretty much going to be your home.
Yeah.
So
is there anything that you miss from Sydney? Like,
mate, I know over there they do. This is sounds something so like small and so minuscule, but they do coffees over there. Coffees like double shot is just normal.
Yep.
Yeah, and I didn't know that, eh? And I was drinking the coffees.
And you're like, this is a long black. What's going on?
I was like, but I didn't realize you have to ask for one shot. Like you have to ask for a single shot.
Otherwise they give you 2.
Yeah, otherwise they give you 2. Yeah. And as well, they do to get on the motorways, they have like a roundabout with the lights. I mean, all the Aussie boys always say, why do you have a roundabout? It'd be like going on the M5 and there's a roundabout, and then
the roundabout has traffic lights.
And it's like it stops, and one car goes at each time. So it goes red, and then it'll go orange, and then it'll go green. Then you go, and one car from each lane goes, then it goes red, and then the next car stops.
That's so
and that's
frustrating.
like just after the roundabout.
what's the point of that?
Yeah, I don't know. So that's the one thing that I'm a bit like, I think if they just let everyone merge, just let us figure it out. Let us figure it out. Let us figure it out. Yeah, but that's very first world problem. But that's the only thing that I've ever like sort of say as an Aussie going over there. Everything else is the exact same. It's like you just live in another part of Australia. That's literally what it's like.
100%. And what about Webby? How's Webby been for your career development so far? And like, what's his like key pillars?
Yeah, no, he's been really good, eh? He's I always say to people that have like asked me so far, he sort of opened my eyes up to a different sort of way to look at the game. Like I know that sounds a bit weird, but like obviously I felt like I knew football and I understood football before I went there, but the sort of way he sort of looks at it in a different lens, and how he wants you to sort of, especially as a half, the ways you can approach the game, and it doesn't always have to be the big play. Like you don't always like that's something when I was younger. Like it doesn't always have to be the big cutout pass or the like the big fancy
chip
play.
and chase.
Yeah, it doesn't always
early
have to
kick
be
and all
that.
that.
It can be like just hitting your back roll short, and then just seeing what comes off the back of that, dropping a player under. Like it's just all little things like that. I could probably go into more detail, but like it would be here all day. Yeah, so he's been awesome for me, especially in that sense. Like some of the meetings we have as a spine, like as a 6, 7, 9 and 1, and now 13's in there. It's pretty awesome. Just hearing all the different like opinions and different voices and that, and having him there of what he thinks. It's pretty sick. Yeah,
you just touched on the spine. So I know you can play fullback, 5'8", halfback. What is your favorite position that you like to play?
I enjoy halfback. That's obviously I enjoyed 5'8", playing outside. Shawnee, since I've been there, was cool. Like being able to learn off him, and I feel like if you play that position, you sort of know what. Then if you are the halfback, you know what you want from your 5'8". So I was like obviously talking to him and asking him a lot of questions, and but also I see myself obviously being a halfback as I get on with my career. I feel like if I'm wanting to take that next step in my career, it's something that I'd love to do. That's something I would feel comfortable doing, and obviously, like when I was a junior, I was always a half. But yeah, but don't get me wrong, I've enjoyed. I feel like the time at fullback as well actually helped me when I went back into the halves. Because I remember when I went to fullback, when I was younger, I was a bit like, I was a bit skeptical. And I remember speaking to someone, I can't remember who was at the club, and they said, just think it would probably make you a better half. Actually playing fullback, it's a similar thing. You know what they're seeing, and you know what they want from you. And then when I went back in the halves, it actually did help me.
And it probably helped your running game. Like you have the speed and the footwork, and then that's why I think you're a good 5'8", obviously, but I didn't know you were halfback by trade.
Yeah. But obviously I feel like I could play either or, you know what I mean?
Like you did such a good job at 6 that, you'd think you've been playing it your whole life.
Yeah. Well, sort of like when people look at me, they go, oh, he's fast and that's his strengths. And I like...
He's fast, strong running game, must be a 6.
Yeah. So, and like, don't get me wrong, I feel like I can play that role, but I feel like I can sort of do both.
So you feel confident being like the organizer, the controlling member of the
I feel
team?
like I can do that. And as well, I've had some pretty good guys to learn off. Like obviously over the Cherry Evans when I was at Manly, Trent Hodkinson, and then went back to Cronulla. I had Chad Townsend, Nico, Matt Moylan. You know what I mean? So and then come back to the Warriors and I had Sean at the Sharks. And at the
Sean would have
Warriors,
been incredible.
So,
What'd you learn off Sean? I know you could probably be here all day, but like, give me one thing or a few little points.
We've seen him on the podcast he does where he analyses the plays. And you're thinking, okay, I thought I knew rugby league. This guy's a genius.
Yeah. That's sort of what it's like. It's especially because I feel like I relate to him a lot because when he was younger, he was that steppy, fast, sort of nippy guy that could run 70 meters and score a try. So that's why he was always my favorite player when I was growing up. So I feel like I could sort of relate to him in that sense. And then as he got older, he turned into the sort of crafty, like digging into the line, like sort of halfback that he still can run the ball, but he's now got that craft of like kicking and passing and setting up tries. So, but it's hard to like narrow down. Like he's taught me so much stuff. Maybe just little things similar to Webby in the sense that how to look at a defense and how to sort of look at it and go, okay, how am I going to break them down? Like looking for patterns and looking for trends of what they do and how to sort of, instead of just looking at it from one aspect, try and look at it from like a different sort of lens. I know that's pretty,
is this
pretty
like
broad.
in video and all that?
Or video, in video, how to actually watch it and go, this is a trend that they're doing. Like, so what works against that, and just
like the second roll turns his shoulder in.
Just like it sounds like I know other rugby league players go, that's normal, but the way he sort of talks about it and looks at it is different. He's been awesome, and even just on the field, like kicking, just little things about kicking, like we all do so much, especially with Stacey Jones. He's our kicking coach, so especially with those two, like Sean as well, just actually going like on field, hands on, doing stuff too.
That's like the best to learn off Stacey and Shaun Johnson.
Well, you got two of the best Kiwi halfbacks of all time.
Yeah.
Just learn as much as you can off them.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Well, going back to when you signed with the Warriors, so 2023, you're doing the preseason, tear your hamstring, left or right side?
Preseason to start.
I believe it was the right.
Yeah,
done my research.
It was right.
Like the NRL physio from Wish over here.
So you did your hammy, and then how long has that kept you out for before you start playing the season?
That was, I did that the week leading into the second, what's it called preseason trial, preseason game, and so that was about, and I didn't come back to around 11 or 12, so it was about 13 weeks, I think. Yeah, he was about 13 weeks, but that was a long one. That was probably the longest like hemi one I've had before. And then obviously did the left one later.
And were you told that you were going to be the 5'8" for the season? ahead, or-
No. Webby's not really like that, eh? He's everyone has to earn their spot and earn their position. Yeah. I even going to the club, like when I turned up there, it wasn't like, oh, you're going to be this, you're going to be that. It was just everyone sort of has to earn their spot, especially coming off new. Like he's a new coach. There's a couple new staff members, new player. There's a lot. I think we had like 8 new players, so it was very different. Probably for some of the boys that had been there, yeah. But I was just there trying to turn up and do the best I can. And obviously in that first trial game, I felt like I went good, and then 3 days later, hurt myself.
Well, you came back from that injury and you won 10 out of 12 games. It was a massive year for the Warriors. Up the wires movement. How did that all go about? And like, could you see the fans were just loving it?
Yeah, no, it was awesome, eh? Like we obviously we knew it would be big coming back, especially the boys who were in the bubble and had been away for 3 years. They knew it was going to be big, but that was just ridiculous, especially because we were winning games. That obviously helps. Winning,
100%,
that
you guys
helps.
were carving.
Yeah,
And I think as well, like you won New Zealand over, but I think you won the rest of the
Yeah.
NRL over. Like
Yeah.
everyone was saying up the wires. I think we were saying
Yeah.
up the wires.
We
too.
did a whole potty called Up the Wires. Like it was just a thing. Like everyone's second favorite team.
Yeah, I think that's what I was going to say. We became everyone's second favorite team. Everyone had probably a little soft spot, especially because what the boys who were there and what the club had been through over the past few years.
And they sacrificed so much to be away from their friends, family.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it was so awesome, mate. Just being there, just being able just to ride that wave of obviously we're going to keep winning games, and then the crowd's just going to get bigger. I remember we were playing away games. We played one at Para and the Goldie, and there was just a crowd full of Warriors fans chanting Warrior, like a Warriors chant going when we were going up on the scoreboard. Like that was crazy.
That's insane.
And was it around town as well? Like you walk the streets, up the wires everywhere?
A bit. Especially like someone like Shaun. If he's walking the street, he's getting it every 10 seconds. But it was like that. Like it was cool though. The Warriors fans are cool in that sense that they really support the team. They get behind the team, and especially like I said before, like it obviously helps when you're winning. Like everyone's gonna support the team, but they do though. They love the Warriors, especially because they're away for so long. So. Yeah, and I just can't wait to get back next year. Every game sold out this year, so it flowed on into this year where we didn't have the best season, but we still sold out every single home game. So
Yeah,
I
you
feel
guys were losing games, but they kept showing up, the fans.
Yeah,
Do you reckon the Warriors have the best fans in the NRL?
Obviously, I would be biased on saying that, but I would say yes, obviously. But we obviously sold out every game, and I know that there's probably some other fan bases that would say they're the best, but and you have to say yours the best, because whenever I'm around there, whenever I'm there, there's so much love and they show so much appreciation, especially for me. Like I've been injured a little bit over there, and they show nothing but support whenever I get stopped. If I got stopped at the shops or whatever like that, or at games, they're always so nice and respectful.
But then up the wires, it's taken over the whole season, and end of 2023, round 26, I believe, hamstring goes against the Dragons. What's going through your mind at that sort of point, just on the cusp of finals?
Yeah, I was devastated today because I obviously knew that was probably my season done. Like even if we made it however far, like I knew I probably wasn't going to play, and that was tough, especially because I felt like I'd worked so hard to get back from the last one, and I felt like I was doing everything right to get back. But yeah, it was obviously so tough to watch it. I remember watching the boys play that home semi against Newcastle, and just going, oh my, that would be so awesome to be out there and just play. And we played so good. And just that crowd, like, it was the loudest crowd I've ever heard. Like, it was awesome. But yeah, it was obviously tough. But then I felt like in my head, I was like, okay, this is the way I was thinking. This is the last one. You get over this and do that, and then you'll be okay. And then everything will be fine. But yeah, obviously break my leg a few months later.
We'll touch on that one later. That's a brutal one.
Yeah.
But how do you deal with, like, mentally, like, injury? You had the ACL in your juniors, and then 2 hamstring injuries in the same year now, the broken leg. How do you deal psychologically with it?
It's obviously it's hard, but you sort of just like it's easy to sort of sit there and be like, oh, why me? You know, I'm working hard to get my body right, and it happens. But you sort of just got to look at it in the sense that like it's gonna happen. Like you're playing a sport where that sort of stuff's gonna happen. Some people get lucky and it doesn't happen to, but I'm just someone that's happened to, and I've just got to work hard to overcome that. But I feel like the harder you work, the luckier you get. So I feel like my time's coming, and I've just got to just constantly just tell myself that you just rehab it and get back and know that I'll be okay. But obviously, probably the hardest one to take was probably when I broke my leg this year. That was like pretty tough, dude. Like I trained all preseason, didn't miss a session, felt so good, and then got into the year and I was like, this is going to be come off a good win the week before against the Raiders, and I was just so devastated. Like, I remember the first few days, I was just like, I can't catch a break. Like I was like, when am I going to have that season where I can have a breakout season and
Or just have a full year, you know?
Yeah, I haven't had that since before. I probably tore my ACL the year before that, so 2018 was probably the last time that I got
6 years ago.
play a full season and not have something. Obviously, there was when I went back to Cronulla, I had a couple good years there, like where I didn't get injured, but it wasn't full seasons in first grade. I was more playing jets and stuff, but yeah, no, it was tough. But yeah, you just got to tell yourself, after the first few days, you just got to dust yourself off and know that you'll be right, and then get stuck into rehab. That's the only thing you can really do.
Because it's actually crazy. I feel like you've been in the NRL for like ages, but I looked at your games. We were guessing your games before the potty. Like, how many games did you play? I was like 30, 40, 26 NRL games.
Yeah.
Like, are you just the most unluckiest player going around at the moment? Like, it feels like whenever you're hitting form, something happens.
Yeah,
Touch wood, let me touch wood.
One of the Shaun was actually asked, like, saying, how many games have you played, bro? You played like 70 games? Like, you'd be hitting 100 next
4
year.
seasons,
like,
you know?
Yeah, because you'd be hitting, and I was like, I played, this was before I hurt, before I'd come back from my injury, and I was like, I've only played like 23 games, and he was like, what? And I was
Crazy.
like,
Yeah,
because
it was
I
a
thought
shock to
I
us.
just assumed that you just played at least like 50, 60 at least, yeah, because I've sort of played and then not played and played, you just assume. But yeah, no, I don't. It's obviously, I played 6 games at the end of 2021 when I debuted, and then I didn't play that whole year. My second year in Cronulla, I played the very last
played
round.
one game,
so I sort
wasn't
of
it?
missed
Yeah.
a whole year there, not playing first grade. And then, yeah, and sort of since then I've been like only played a handful.
I think the broken leg injury was one of the most frustrating as well, because like as a fan watching you play, like you're one of the most informed 5'8" and like playing consistent footy to start the year, and it's like, all right, here we go. Like you said, this is the breakout year. Finally get a full year under the wraps, and then it happens. It's just frustrating, I guess, for you, your fans, for everyone involved.
Who do you lean on when stuff like that happens? Like, is it obviously your partner, friends, family, the club, players at the club, like.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a mix. Obviously, my partner, she's like been there. Like anything I need, like she'll do for me. She's awesome. Like, spare all the injuries and stuff like that. She's had to take me everywhere, drive me everywhere, do everything. So she's awesome as well. Just like someone to talk to, and she knows what I've been through, and she knows everything that's happened to me. So obviously her. But then, like I said, people at the club, like Shaun's been through injury troubles. Like he's had his fair share. Like there's a lot of boys there who have had things done to them, especially like in a couple years. Like, and it's sort of been like that. So yeah, it's been good. And even just the coaches at the club, they've been mad to talk to. Like they were making sure they were texting me, making sure I'm all right. The first couple of weeks I was away from training, and everyone at the club is so nice like that, and so they genuinely care about you. So that was good. But yeah, and obviously I've got people like my mum and dad and friends and that are always checking in. So I've got a pretty good circle of people that I love and that they care for me, and yeah, so I'm pretty lucky.
Let's go back to round 1, 2024 season. You're versing Cronulla Sharks. You score a mad try. You break through 5 people, score. You do the hang up the phone celebration. What's that all about? Can you give us a bit of an insight?
No, so that was I'm not like, I like tennis, but it was the NRL roast. He got it right. It was Ben Shelton. So like it was.
I looked that up. I'm like, is it from the tennis player?
Yeah,
or are
it
you
was.
like hanging up Cronulla's calls?
Nah. So it was. I was like I remember me and Shaun were we always talk about what's the Italian Sinner.
Oh, Sinner.
Yeah, we always talk about tennis in the preseason. Like Oz Open was on, and we were talking about, and I was like, and I remember there was an Auckland comp over there, and Ben Shelton. Like I was like, I want to watch him play. Like I want to watch Ben Shelton play. I never got to, and I was like, he's got a mad little celly that like when he like does say like he picks up the phone, hangs out. I was like, so my first try, I'll do it, and it just happened to be that it was against Cronulla, and
Mate, perfect against the old club, breaking through 5 people, and then obviously you're off contract at the time. They're giving you a call, and you just hanged up on them.
That's
what it looks like.
I've been asked this so many times, and that's what I say. It literally looks like that, and I don't blame people, but it just happened to be. I was like, my first try, I'm gonna do the Ben Shelton. Like if it was against any other team, I would have done the same thing. But it literally looks like that. But
Is that a highlight of 2024, or coming back from injury? Is that your highlight? What stands to you as the moment of 2024?
Probably Shaun's last game.
Yep.
Yeah, that was crazy. I remember. So he actually was a bit questionable to going into that game in terms of, was it his quad? I think his quad might have been pretty banged up, and like he was playing a bit banged up during the years, Achilles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like he was fighting through a bit of stuff, but there was no way he was missing his last game. But I just remember thinking like, surely he's going to play. Like, you know what I mean? It's his last game. Like he's got to play, and then he was playing. Yeah, and that I was just like, yes, here we go. Like I just want to. And I was so grateful that like first 5-10 minutes he sets me up for a try, and I'm like, that's just so sick. Like, that's just so mad. And I made sure I went back and gave him like a big hug and gave him a cuddle. And
100%.
Told each other we love each other.
You can't script the way that ended. Like, come on.
I remember,
cut out to win the game.
And it's so funny because if you go back and watch that clip, I'm like putting my hands up, like because I wanted,
you wanted the ball. It's like his last play in his career.
Yeah,
You're like, give me the ball.
Yeah, I'm like this, and then all of a sudden I go like that, and I put my hand up. I'm like, wait, yes, yeah, and it worked out to be. That was you couldn't write a script like that for him. I think he had like 3 or 4 try assists, and like he carved up the whole game. So
it was a fitting end for his career.
Yeah, and someone like him who he's inspired. Like a lot of people talking about, he's inspired lots of like Kiwis and lots of New Zealand kids. But I was like, he's inspired more than that. He's inspired me, a kid from Coffs Harbour who. Just a little Aussie kid from there who just wanted to play football, and like he inspired me, and I just wanted to be like Shaun Johnson. Or when I was younger, that's all I wanted.
So he was like your number one. Like you're idolizing him.
Yeah, or my
It would have been so surreal just playing next to him.
Yeah, I remember when I went back to Cronulla, I had to like go through my old photos and that to make sure I didn't have like any like photos of him up on like my Instagram or something or like any thing like that. So. Yeah, it was cool. And obviously when you meet him, like it's not like that. It's not like he's all... But when you sort of... Before you do, like, that's a mate. But once you get to meet him, he's just your mate.
Yeah.
He's just,
Listening to his podcast, he just seems like such a good bloke. Like, he's joking around here. He's friendly.
And that's exactly what he's like when you just talk to him. He's the same person. He's just a good dude.
That's sick.
And now looking ahead for 2025, so what are some goals for you and I guess for the Warriors for 2025?
Obviously... coming off 23 was a good year, and then this year wasn't all what we'd hoped for, but just sort of get back to that playing how we know we play, and playing how if we play and stay to our systems and what we know works and what wins us games, we know we'll be okay. But it's sort of just getting back to that and getting back to the foundation of we know as a club what we can do to win games. So obviously every team wants it, like everyone wants to win the grand final. That's what everyone says. But you got a lot to do to get there. So we've got a lot of work to do in the preseason before we start thinking about that stuff. But obviously that's the end goal. There's no point in playing if that's not your end goal. So that's every team. So we've got to just get back to it and just start from day one, start from scratch. And just
I guess the first goal is like obviously making finals.
Yeah.
And then somehow if you can get that 2023 form back, how do you think you can get that form back? Or find some consistency.
Yeah. Obviously, it would start with the preseason, getting everyone back there. It's probably good this year because last year we had a bit of a shorter one because we went far into the finals and we didn't start till later. So this year we get, you should say, the pleasure of having a long.
When are you back?
A long preseason. I think the early a 10th or 11th of November or something like that.
Yeah.
So pretty early, and we'll get back there and I rip in and just strip it back and get back to what we know wins us games. That's the main thing.
And then next year as well, like obviously Shaun Johnson won't be there, plays last game, but playing for the Kiwis.
Yeah.
Crazy. Did he ever mention that?
No, I did not think it was a possibility. I thought he would just want to go
he was
out.
Injured.
Thought he wanted to go.
Yeah,
I saw that too. But I just thought he'd want to go out like that. But you can't blame him, like playing for his country. Like that's such an awesome experience. And I don't think he's played for the Kiwis in a while.
I think it was like maybe 2019 or something.
Yeah,
like,
so it's been a while, and especially Stacey being the coach. Would I say it's
already
Stacey?
got the
Stacey would have been
connection.
calling him, hey mate, how you going? But yeah, sort of that I think that's so sick for him. I'm so happy for him. Obviously, when they're versing Australia, we're going for Australia, but I'll be cheering him, cheering the New Zealand boys on, like Chans and Murata as well. I'm so happy for him that he gets to represent his country, and it'll be cool to watch him go around it a couple more times.
Yeah, I think we all want to see him one more time go around, even though he ended so good.
Yeah.
You can't say no.
Yeah. As I go, it's almost like you don't want to.
You don't want him to ruin that.
Yeah.
But if he ends up winning it for New Zealand,
exactly. like imagine
that's
World Cup semi-final.
Yeah.
Or in Four Nations, like 2015 or 16 or something, where he, I'm pretty sure he beat Australia and had a mad try. You just don't know. So
imagine he brings out vintage SJ with a mad match-winning try.
Yeah, and he's a competitor too. So in his head, he's going, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
So you can't blame him.
100%.
Yeah.
So you lose SJ, AFB, Tavanga, Montoya next year, but you get Fisher Harris.
Yeah, yeah.
He can nearly cover them all, but that's a massive statement. But how big of a player and influence do you think he'll have on your team?
He'll be massive, eh? Like, looking at what he's done at Penrith.
4 premierships in a row.
Is huge,
Crazy.
yeah. But obviously, yeah, like I said, we're losing 4 like key players, boys who have been like Jazzy, who's been literally play the Warriors his whole career, and Adam, who's been huge for our like one of the best front rowers in the comp. And then boys like Mars, who they're just sort of like around the club, they're just so good. On the field, they're obviously good, but around the club, they're just, you can't replace those guys. Like, they're so they bring so much joy and stuff like that, and you know what you're going to get from every game. So obviously, I'm sad to leave those boys go. I'm sad to see those boys go, but yeah, getting Fisher Harris, I think he's just going to bring so much experience, and just, he's pretty much done. Like, he's been in all the big games. He's done everything. So yeah, I'm so excited to see him and Mitch Barnett link up. The two maniacs.
Yeah, they could be the new Bash Bro combo. That's pretty good to look forward to.
Yeah, well, they'll go against each other this week or next week. Sorry, when Australia plays you. So that will be pretty cool. And yeah, I can't wait to see them 2 boys together.
So now we're going to play the whiteboard game. Very simple. You got a whiteboard in front of you. You're going to write down the answer, and we're all going to reveal our answers. So, first question: who's the fastest at the Warriors over 100 meters? And you can say yourself this time. Okay, you can go first.
Go first. I went DWZ.
You don't really mean that, do you?
You're lying.
You wanted to put yourself so badly.
Nah, Dale's a flyer. The mullet gives him extra powers.
Yeah, it sheds him a few seconds off the clock, doesn't it?
Gives him that. So I'll give it to Dale.
I've gone DWZ as well. I just think he's the fastest. So, just
Like, I think before broken leg, definitely you. I'm worried, but from everything you're saying, I'm going to go Luke Metcalf. I reckon you've got him covered over 100.
If I would have maybe wrote myself if I wasn't being humble.
Yeah.
have you ever what's your fastest 100 meter? Have you ever clocked it?
Oh, I haven't done 100 meters since I was in high school.
Yeah, right.
Like, and I can't even remember.
Okay.
Like, you're mucking around in your joggers and you're wearing silly clothes. And
Is that one of your biggest strengths, you reckon, your speed?
Yeah, obviously, and it's the thing that sticks out, like, to people.
Yeah.
Like, they see me play and they go, oh, he's fast and his speed. Yeah. I sort of feel like as I'm getting older, I'm learning in situations how to bring my speed into my game, like how to sort of manipulate where to put myself on the field and what how to get the ball and where to get the ball to use it. So that's something I'm learning as well, and I'm getting better at that too.
Have you lost speed after the broken leg?
No, I'm the same. That's like not me just saying that either. Like, I feel like it's the same, especially there. I can't even feel like my leg. It's literally just normal. Like, it's literally just like the surgery these days is ridiculous. So the leg's fine, and I rehabbed it for so long, and I made sure I actually hit my highest speed of the year in the Cronulla game when I was trying to chase Sam Stone Street.
Oh, really?
And I was like,
And you didn't get him,
yeah,
did you?
And I was like, what was he running? If I was running that, what did he get? That's what I was saying. Yeah, so no.
Because he has the mullet, it makes him run faster.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
why.
mullet. I need to grow my hair.
Yeah,
That's what it is. I
you
need to
grow
my
the
hair.
mullet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
All right, next one. Who's the scariest second rower to come up against?
I know my answer straight away.
Yeah, I was gonna write the same. You can go.
I'm going to go Olakawatu. Fuck coming up against him. He's scary, man.
Yeah.
There's a few others, but
I've gone. He's not really a second row, but he goes there time to time. Nelson.
Oh, yeah.
Bruh, no way would I want that.
If
run
he's
out there.
somehow in the second row, someone's
They
injured.
chuck him out there a bit, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
They're
For like
mid-game.
30 minutes.
Yeah. I went Hamole as well, just because he's he was my first game back in NRL for my broken leg.
And he was against you?
He was a back rower at Manly, and I was like, because he can sort of like he hits holes, he gets dropped under and drifts across. He'll get the ball early and skip and palm, and then like palm you across that way, and then step at the same time. Like, so he doesn't just run straight at you. Like,
There's
he
some
does
variations to his
everything.
game.
Yeah. Because some of them, if they run straight, you can sort of get ready and plant your feet in that. Where he does, like, he'll step and he'll.
Then he's got the
but
offload
he'll
as
run
well.
straight at you as well.
And he's
So he
got
does
Cherry
everything.
on that side too. that feeds him perfect.
And he
pass.
understands.
He isolates
Ches
the
knows
half.
how to just
He isolates the half so well.
And you watch it, Ches just feeds him in, and then the next play he's wrapping around the short side, or he's getting over that line, just running and just taking on defenders. Like, they do it well.
Yeah, definitely. That's the first play that came to my mind. We asked this to everyone that comes on the potty. Who has the best rig at the Warriors?
Oh, that's pretty. I reckon that's pretty easy.
I think I know,
I think I have it.
but like there's always surprise packets.
Yeah. No, this guy's pretty.
Do you want
Who
to
have
go
you got?
first?
Yeah.
RTS.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got RTS as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
RTS
yeah.
3-way.
Yeah. He's got like calves, quads, abs, pecs, biceps.
got it
You know what I
all.
mean? He has. Yeah. He's got.
Is there
literally
anyone
everything.
like
And he's good
Smokey
looking,
for
like-
second? Like
Smokey?
is there anyone that like we might not know that has like a hidden rig?
Rocco Berry's pretty solid. Like
Yeah.
he's pretty
Yeah.
ripped. Yeah,
Yeah.
Rocco Berry's pretty, and he's actually like pretty tall and like lanky
Yeah,
and
he's
athletic.
quite tall as
yeah,
well, so-
Yeah, he's actually probably would surprise a couple of people if they see
Yeah,
him.
that actually would. 'Cause
Yeah.
He looks a bit lanky on the field.
Yeah, he's real. Like he's probably like nearly 100 kilos too.
Yeah.
So he's not light.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's actually.
Yeah, that's
pretty-
one that would definitely shock me.
Yeah. He'll love that I said that too. I'll never say that to his face.
We'll clip it for him, put on the story.
And then the last one, who's the toughest player you've trained with at the Warriors?
Toughest. Yeah, it's.
All right, reveal who you got.
Mitch Barnett.
Really
Yeah,
Barnett.
he's. Yeah,
You can
he's
just
crazy.
see
You
on the field. eh?
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
the same at training.
Yeah, like obviously he's not silly, like he doesn't try and hurt people or anything like that, but he's just like when he's on, you know what I mean? Like he obviously he's not taking anyone's head off or anything like that, but he's like you wouldn't want to get on his bad side, you know what I mean? Like when you watch him in the games, I'm so glad he's on our team. Like,
Yeah,
just
he's
such a
so
beast.
aggressive.
I don't know how he plays like sometimes 80 minutes
Yeah,
front
yeah,
row and
yeah.
just like it's
And
40
you-
tackles, 200
yeah.
meters.
And
What?
the thing is, you watch him at the start, and like at the end, it doesn't change.
Yeah.
Like there's 5 minutes left in the game, he's still leading the line speed, dragging people back. Like he does a lot of stuff that, even though his stats were mad this year, but he does a lot of stuff that the stats don't show.
Yeah.
Like leading line speed and
He's always the first one up.
yeah,
isn't he? Making that first
yeah,
contact.
Yeah. And he might be the one to sort of like usher them in and sort of not actually make the tackle. But if he doesn't do that, it's not happening. So he's like, he won our Player of the Year this year, and he was a freak.
Yeah, he was
He was so
unbelievable
good.
this
It's
year.
crazy
yeah.
how he's changed his game. He used to be a
Yeah.
bit too aggressive sometimes, making the wrong calls, but now he's just getting everything right, and his aggression is his biggest
Yeah.
strength. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah, he's a
definitely
beast.
an asset.
And he picks me up every morning too. So
Oh, really?
There
you go.
Couple
so-
buddies.
Yeah, So if I didn't say that, he would be angry.
Yeah, you definitely need a lift every session. Okay, we might as well do a quick trivia before we wrap things up. See how well you know your career.
All right.
Random questions you might not even know. So, which 4 NRL teams have you never won a game against in the NRL? See what
Do I write
No,
it down?
okay,
Oh,
sorry, I
okay,
forgot to tell you,
alright,
whiteboard game's done.
alright.
You can throw that away.
The Storm,
Yep,
played them twice.
that's
The
one.
last game we played them, I don't want to think about it. That was ridiculous. The Rabbitohs,
Yep,
Yep.
2 more.
who did we play? And I got I beat the Broncos when I was at Cronulla.
One's a trick question,
One's a trick question.
or like obvious but trick.
Okay. What about this year? Bulldogs.
Yeah.
So I haven't
Yes,
played them, I've
and
got
then one more.
One more. I'm trying to think.
It's a bit hard to play this team next year.
The Warriors. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember that game. That was my second game in first grade.
Yeah,
I come
you've
off the
never
bench
beat
and
them.
played like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
3 minutes.
And
Yeah.
you've lost. Yeah, so
Yeah.
they're the
Oh,
4
okay.
teams that you
4 out
still
of
yet.
4?
Still pretty good. 4 out of 17 teams that you haven't beat. Which 2 teams have you scored the most tries against? 3 tries.
3 tries.
Yes. What teams have you scored
Tigers.
3 tries against?
Yeah.
That's one.
How many are there? How many?
There's one more team that you scored 3 against.
3 tries against. Who have I played a couple times? And I've scored tries. Raiders.
No,
that's
go
2.
again.
2.
Oh, Cronulla. Have
Cronulla.
I scored 3?
3
I scored
against
one
Cronulla.
this year. Oh, I forgot about
Yeah.
last year.
Last year as well,
I
yeah.
scored 1. Yeah.
So Tigers and Cronulla. And that's all for trivia. And we have the go-to question we ask every guest. What is your go-to Maccas order?
Oh, at the moment it's large Big Mac meal, and
Yep.
then I'll just get either just a cheeseburger or a double cheeseburger, and then I'll get 10 nuggets. I won't eat all the nuggets. I'll share. I'll have like 5 nuggets or something.
That's a lie. You finish them for sure.
Yeah. So I'm having,
Sweet and sour sauce? Or
have to
Yeah.
get so
Have
angry.
you tried it with aioli, the mix?
Nah,
double
never,
dipping,
ever.
sweet and sour
I
aioli?
I've never ever tried it again, and I get so upset.
That's
when
something you
when
should
you
try.
when you leave Macca's and you get home.
Yeah, and you
open the
check.
bag up and there's no sweet and sour.
Yeah.
That's probably one of
so-
the worst feelings in the world.
What's worse, like when they forget like a side like the chips, or they forget the sauce?
You know,
chips
it
are
depends what if you were going there and you really wanted your nuggets.
Yep.
It would be off
Yeah.
that. But like if you were just like getting them and like as a little side thing and you wanted your chips, you'd be off that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because you're getting
But
less
if you're
food.
going for like hot nuggets, like
That's all you want. You just want
it's like a Matty Bow and JT combo. Like you need the sweet and
they
sour.
go together. Yeah,
You need it.
Yeah. No, so I've started stopping in the window and I like sort of check
Yeah,
before I leave, make sure I can
I'm not
see
leaving
the top.
until I see my sauce.
And as soon as I see it, I drive off.
Yeah. But definitely try aioli with it and let us know because it's a bit of a cheat code.
Yeah.
Aioli with the sweet and sour.
All right.
Can't-
We have a little present for you.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh,
That's right.
terrible
Can I move
throw.
this?
Yeah. Hopefully you're a size. Do we give him XL?
I think XL.
XL
We
on
don't-
the
Should
shirt.
fit, I
and-
should fit into it maybe.
Thank you very much, Luke, for coming on the podcast. Safe travels back to New Zealand. We've got the private jet just waiting outside for you.
We'll send you the
back
money
home.
within 3 business days as
Yeah,
well.
no, that's all right. That's all good. I'll wait for it.
Perfect. Well, all the best and up the wires for next year.
Sweet. Thanks, fellas. Been good.
Sweet. Hope you guys enjoy. See you later.